Hi, my name is Gwen. We'll enjoy an hour together as we cultivate our fierce grace. The intention of our practice, the focus of our practice today will be to generate and cultivate this fierce grace as we tap into our strength, our resilience, and notice what grows from the inside out. Through our playfulness, our creativity, our curiosity, we will learn to move in ways that the body can find a little freedom. So we'll start in a pose that requires a heart bed. And to build a heart bed, many ways. So we have so many yoga toys that we can play with today. I'm going to choose the Bolster, a smaller bolster today. And if you have a cushion that's a little wider, no worries. You can use anything that is basically the length of your spine, so that your head is comfortable when resting at the top. And when your sit bones are on the mat and your whole spinal column is draped, that you feel supported. So this is one of the supports in a restorative pose. And then if you have a yoga block, please go grab it. And we'll use this because it's nice and light. But if you don't have a yoga block, then a book that's about the same size, same thickness as an encyclopedia. Leave it by your mat so you don't have to lift it. You can just push it into place. And then if you don't have any of that, but you have your pool noodle, place that at the top of your mat. So whatever you're using, place it at the top of your mat now. And then go ahead and bring whatever you're using under the head to elevate it a wee bit. And some of you might even need to elevate it more. So the reason why we elevate the head is some of us in our forward moving lives of cooking and driving and texting and computing here, our shoulders are forward, our chin might jet out, and we might even get a slight little curve, a C curve of the upper spine. So as we come back, those muscles will tighten up. They'll tighten right up. So as you lay down on a flat, without the head elevated, I've done a lot of yoga already, so if I hadn't done yoga and my back was really tight, my chin might hike up to the ceiling. Now, as the head of the bolster rises up, it slackens the bands up and down the spinal column so that if I start to rock the back of my head, the chin will slightly come into alignment with the heart center. It'll start lengthening a little more of the cervical spine, the top of your spinal column. So let yourself get nice and comfy. And if that isn't doing the trick, what I would love for you guys to do is to build a waterfall pillow. So go ahead and grab your blanket, the art of folding, fold it, say sa like this, and then the top of the blanket roll in a little gentle roll and place that at the top. And here's where your playfulness comes in. You can use your hands to make this bigger once you're laying on it. You might push it this way, that way, bunch it up. So wherever you are, go ahead and Nuzzle your lower back inward. Feel your spinal column lengthen, lengthen, lengthen all the way to the back of the head. And then nestle the back of your skull down. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale through the mouth, listen to your breath like a natural sigh. Take your time here. The knees can be bent. We have the luxury of time. There's no need to hurry, to unwind. There's no agenda here. We'll leave all of that at the door. Our to-do list, a light veil over it. What it took to get to our mat. And as we close the doors to the outside world, just notice as you close your eyes, that internal landscape starts to unfold. A little bit at a time, no need to hurry. This is mainly a closed eye practice. So once you have the gist of all of these beautiful creative flows that we will be experiencing today as we travel through our bodies, you'll close the eyes once you have the gist of it, once your body feels that I think I can explore this with the eyes closed. And then know there is no perfect here. So if you feel something, you're doing it right. Allow your body to experience that floating sensation of the limbs, the fingers, the toes, in whatever pose that we're in. I will guide you as best as I can. You will be feathering in and out of sensation. So basically that means a little bit at a time, breath by breath. You'll feel a little something, you're doing it right. So now dive into this pose. Feel the sit bones anchor down. You can leave the knees bent by heel toeing the heels wide, the toes inward. Have the inner knees knock like a lean-to. Feel that leaning quality of the knees, the stability and that foundation coming down through the sit bones. And if you'd like to keep the pose exactly like this, please do. Oftentimes I'll just leave my knees bent, even if my lower back isn't causing any discomfort or pain. Just for the simple fact of the upper leg bone, the femur bone, as the muscles loosen their grip, feel the weight coming down, down, down into the hip socket, a broadening and widening of the lower back. So maybe for that reason, you can allow the feet to feel the comfort of the floor, toes inward, heels outward, a leaning quality of the inner knees. Or maybe you love today having the legs lengthen. Feel one and notice the toes wriggle on that side, just a little flutter. And then the other. Maybe you stay in one way with the legs lengthening, and then you can, for whatever reason, go ahead and travel into the other. Feel into your breath. Invite that breath in through the nose and out through the mouth for 2 more breaths as we cleanse our palate for our pranayama. Enjoy that exhale like a natural sigh. And invite that next inhale in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's travel through our breath with a comfortable count of 5. So we come to an equal breath. So on your next inhale, for a comfortable count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. And as you exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. And out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. And out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. 2 more. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. And out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Last one, stay with it. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. And exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we lengthen our exhale. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen, lengthen for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll come back to equal now. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Almost there. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Equal breath now. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Last one. In for a comfortable count of 5. Feel that evenness. As you exhale, let it drift far, far from the body. Allow the body to rest here, knuckles heavy, palms upward. Notice what was cultivated from the inside out. You might like to label it fierce grace, resilience, plus our strength, the focus of our practice. And if you have anyone in your family, anyone in your community, or someone that you've heard of in the world that needs a little of this, go ahead and invite them in on your next breath into your mind's eye. Breathe their essence all the way in. And as you exhale, that pure intent of sharing a little of this. 2 or 3 inhales with that essence of offering your practice outward. And then 1 more just like that. Exhaling the fruits of our practice outward. And then go ahead and flutter open the eyes just a wee bit. Bend one knee and plant that foot, and the eyes can remain closed if you've been here often. If this is your first time, you can have the eyes open if it feels a little better. Come to where it feels better. And then roll over onto that lower arm right off of your props so that you can feel your back right off of the cushion or wherever you were laying on your heart bed. Have that top hand in front of you, the heart center, as a kickstand. Feel and sense the bottom edge of the body and the upper edge, the width of the pelvis, the width from one shoulder to the other. Notice how the top leg can rest on the bottom in this pose. This is enough. We made it to our mats and we just breathe a little life into our back body through a restorative back bend. So notice all of that sensation in the lower back, the upper back, the legs. And one more breath just like that. And then from here, very softly, we're going to, you can take that top hand behind you and we're going to float right onto our back. So clear the runway. We'll start with our knees bent here for a body scan. So let's heel toe our feet a little wider. Heels out, toes in, and let the inner knees knock. Have the hands on the lower belly. The thumb can touch the first finger. Our digestive organs underneath the hands. Feel the softness of that part of the belly. No need to have it rigid. Feel that softness, the rise and fall. Notice where the arc is of that lower spine, how far it's from the floor. The conversation, is it singing sweetly? Or is it heavy metal? Some of my friends love heavy metal. So for some people, that might be comforting. So what is that conversation like? And then travel to the back of the shoulders. Give the head a light little rock as you witness the conversation in the neck. Is it soft? Is it subtle? Or is it that strong edge to it? And then come into stillness. Feel the quality of the essence of that internal environment with the eyes closed. And take a little snapshot of the here and now in this moment. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll over to our side. So sway the hips over to one side and then roll over to the other. From here, we're going to come to tabletop. So lift the top leg, lengthen it to the bottom of the mat, press into that front hand, both hands, and then come where we are creating a nice little tabletop. If the knees are very sensitive, go ahead and grab your blanket. Again, the art of folding, so your nest can be very thick or thin. And then place the knees into the little nest or walk them to the edge so that they hover. So find where you're happy here. And then let one hand come off of the mat and then the other. Let the fingers come down. Notice the wrist from one side to the other. Is there any pain? On the thumb side, the baby finger. And now come into the thumb more, the first finger more. Press down through the thumb and the first finger. Does that pain go away? Do you start to share the workload more with the fingers? And if not, then a fist. And you can do the whole thing right from there. So maybe walk the hands outward. Find that place where it just feels good. Connect with your breath here. This one is a tripod exploration. So in tabletop, we come into this tripod. So feel your left hand more through the thumb, the first finger. Feel that right knee more. And then the right hand. And then very softly feel the lightness of the left knee. And then place it down. And then the right knee. Feel the tripod sensation of the hands and how as you alternate from side to side, you can feel this tripod. Navel's down. Breathe evenly in through the nose and out through the nose. Possibly as you exhale, exhale into that navel and drive it a little closer to the spine. And now pause on one side. Leave the left knee down and lengthen, lengthen through that right heel. Send it like you're lengthening through your spine. Take a deep inhale and look forward. And as you exhale, send the nose to the knee. And maybe you do one, maybe you do two. We'll experience 3 in this class. You decide, please. As the nose comes to the knee, you exhale. As you lengthen the spinal column, a slight little arc, and then you exhale all that breath out and go ahead and trade places. So feel the left leg come up. Extend through the heel. Send the toes down. As you find that next natural inhale, you look up, word or forward. Exhale, knee to nose. Slow, methodical. Feel this deliberate movement. The tripod, share the workload. Both hands, top of the foot to the shin, to the knee. And how about one more? Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, round that spine. Send that knee down. And then from here, very softly come to the forearms. Feel the hands, the fingers here. Take a deep inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, look to the elbows, maybe to where the navel might live. 2 more just like that. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, round. And 1 more. Then from here, very slowly, walk the knees over to that left side and go ahead and roll down on your right side and use that lower arm as a pillow. Then from here, very softly roll onto your back body. Take the blanket right out with the knees bent. Observe what's just occurred as you heel toe your feet wider. Toes inward, heels outward. Take the thumbs to tap, the first finger, lay it right over the lower belly. The thumbs might be in a diamond shape. Feel and notice below the hands, all the way into the mat. The shoulders will sink down, the back of the head can rock as you start to settle. That might have been a lot of strength for a lot of bodies. Notice that awareness on the inside as we cultivate this fierce grace. Breathe into that trust, this playfulness, this curiosity. As we build, we move into this valuable real estate. And then 1 more breath, wherever you are, come into your stillness. And Then from here, the hands can remain on the iliac crest here. We're going to come into QL release. So the QL, the quadratium lumborum, lives right at the back of our bodies, a beautiful silk-like muscle, our deepest core muscle, as well as our deepest back muscle. So this is its nickname is the hip hiker. So when you go hiking and lift the legs, we utilize this muscle. When we get up from laying down laterally on our sides, we ask a lot of this muscle. So we're going to alleviate some of the strain here. This is a full body integration, so yes, the targeted area is the QL, but the whole body receives. So go ahead and allow the knees to come away from each other. You can leave the hands right on that lower belly. Press into the right foot and feel the right hip gently peel up off of the mat. It's like a rocking and rolling of the pelvis. And then allow it to come down. We're going to stay on this same side. So you'll press into the foot and allow the left side of the pelvis to come into the floor and the other side to come up, like we're spilling out the contents of our pelvis, the bowl of the pelvis. We're spilling it right out. And then pause after that next one. And we're going to do little add-ons here. So here we go. We're going to add on now. So as you press into the right foot and feel the right hip come up, send that same shoulder, right shoulder down. The head can roll in that direction. You might feel a slight arc of the spine as the shoulder blade comes inward to the spinal column. So how about 2 or 3 just like that? Feel that right side. The head can roll in that general direction as the shoulder comes down. And then you come all the way down. And how about one more for good luck? Again, find the playfulness. Yes, it might feel so serious, but see if you can find that curiosity. Maybe we go into it just a wee bit today. And then the next time we practice a little more, and then a little more, and then you start to experience this as your new normal. Becomes to be your good friend. You can look around many more corners at that point. So possibly let's keep it simple for today. If it's your first time, cut yourself some slack. So here we are, we're going to add on now. So let the right hip come up, the right shoulder down. Take the inseam of the legs, the knees can press, and then relax that effort. 2 more just like that. Hip comes up, let it roll. Shoulder down, head rolls in that general direction. Inseam can press, and then Make this next one a game. How fast can you come into it? Press maybe all in one piece, and then relax. And how about one more? See if you can come all the way super fast. Squeeze the knees, press, 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 and then come on out. There's one more add-on here. This one's super fun. So find that playfulness. So go ahead and let the right hip come up. Send the shoulder down, head rolls. Knees squeeze. Press evenly into the mat through the shoulders, the feet. Send the pelvis up, up, up. Active side down first. So right side comes down first, and then the other. So let's come straight back into it maybe. That right hip comes up, shoulder down, roll the head in that general direction. Inseam squeezes, lift off, active side down, right side down first. Then you roll to the left. Let's come straight back into it, right hip up, shoulder down. Roll the head, squeeze, lift. Right hip down first, and then the other. Come into a brief body scan. Let the feet come out. Build the thumb to the first finger, our diamond shape, and rest. And notice through that right hand all the way down the active side that just did so much work. Notice all the way through the right leg, all the way through the rib cage to the shoulder. You might hear sounds. Stay observant as the body absorbs all of the goodness of this creative movement, this deliberate moving bit by bit by bit. So notice how you feel for one more breath here, the whole quality from one side to the other. And then we'll come right over to the other side, so the hands can rest on the outer edges if you'd like. Send the left hip upward. Notice if it feels better on this side. Can you find that playfulness right away as you rock and roll? Press into that left foot. Let the left hip come upward. Maybe this is your last one. Know that we are adding on. So as that left hip comes up, the left shoulder comes down, and you can gently look into that general direction. And then methodically, very slow moving, we come in and out of that. As the shoulder comes down, the head rolls. Notice what it's like for the third and last one. Hip comes up, shoulder down. Head rolls in that general direction. Feel the arcing of the spine. And then come on back down. We'll add on now. Let the hip gently come up, shoulder down. Squeeze the inseam. And then relax that effort. Maybe you come into the next one as slow as you comfortably can. As soft as you can. So maybe not to your full capacity of range of motion. You keep it small. And the next one may be a little faster. Find the playfulness in this. And then we'll come into the very last one here. Gently the hip will come up, shoulder down. You roll the nose to the shoulder that's down. You squeeze and then lift off. Let the active side come down first, that left side, and then the other. You might want to rest there for a breath, 2 or 3, and then join us when you can. Take your time resting. You never have to follow as quickly as what I'm suggesting. So if you're ready, let the left hip come up, shoulder down. Let the head roll. Squeeze the inseam, find that lift off, let the active side come down first, then you roll the right side down second. Last one, feel the hip rise, shoulder down, head rolls, squeeze, lift, feel that left side, gently roll into the mat, and then the right side, all that detail. Lengthen through the right leg and then the left. Feel the soma, the body, from the inside out. Notice as we scan from the toes through that lower leg to the knee. Feel the vibration of some sort in the knees. The upper leg, the sit bones, all the way up through to the navel, that digestion. Through the heart center, the shoulders. Take a deep dive through the brow where you think the center of the brain might live, where our command center lives. The secretary of the body here, the central nervous system. as it starts to sort and register all this valuable information, that all this detail of the muscle to the brain is feeding, this vibration. So how about one more valuable breath here, a great use of our time. And as you exhale, feel the body settle a little more. Take that little snapshot of what we have here now. And then go ahead and bend up at the knees. One of my favorite poses, half happy baby. So we'll stay on our back. Press into your left foot. Let the right thigh come a little closer to the belly. You can feed the horseshoe of one hand behind that knee and then send that elbow down into the floor. And then let the other one come up and then roll to the elbow there on that side. You can lengthen through that leg. And then slow as you comfortably can, you lengthen through one foot, one leg, you paddle, you feel the support of the elbow to shoulder connection into the floor. Close your eyes as much as you can, or you can leave a little sliver open at the bottom if that feels a little more grounding, a little more settling to you. So notice how you roll right off of the spinal column and feel and notice how you can support yourself while you gently do this. From side to side. This is one of the poses that I do every single day. It looks a little different every day. It feels a lot different from one time of the day to the other, from one moment to the other, a different body. So notice what you have here and now. This one's a playful pose, so half happy baby with the hands behind the knees, or maybe you have a strap behind the knees and the arms down. The back of the knees can rest in the strap. For today, I have it nice and simple. There's so many ways to do this pose. So have some fun today. For one more this way. And then very softly, one more that way. Let the feet come down. Know that you could stay in that pose longer. So if you ever want to take that right out and just do that alone, perfect. Especially if your back has been a little kinked up. So from here, roll over to your side. Use your lower arm as a pillow. From here, we're going to sit up. So press into the floor, lengthen through the top leg, and let the whole body come up. We're going to use our blanket as a blanket rope. So the art of folding. So unravel your blanket. Fold it once. It can be really messy. Please let it. And then little roll so it starts to look like a rope. And then leave that off. Where you're going to have your feet, leave that there. On the other side of your mat, hopefully you still have what you used for your heart bed. You're going to build up your heart bed once again. So bolster, the head can be elevated a little or a lot. You'll get seated with the lower back into the bolster and your rope right at the top of the feet. Take your time. This is a pose that can use a lot of props. So Supta Baddah Konasana, it's a restorative cobbler pose. So nice and easy. You're going to wrap one side of the rope underneath the other. And then you can leave it just like that and let the feet come towards each other. You can cinch it up a little bit at that point once the feet are towards each other, and bring a little more of that blanket underneath. Then unfurl the spine. And then wherever you can rest, please do. So feel if you need a little more under the legs, then you can always go ahead and grab your blocks or whatever you have at home, and you can bring that closer to the hip. So you can feel into, do you need more support? If that little inner whisper says, I'm going to remain curious. I don't feel much tug, but I'm afraid. Well, maybe you want to pause and just have your blocks close by. But if you're feeling a pinching or a burning, or a little voice inside saying, I think I can put up with this for a little while longer, you'll want to override that. So we don't put up with in our yoga practice. You can bring the blocks. It's called support. The hands can be at your side. They can be outward. One can be up, one can be down, or maybe they feel delicious on the belly. And so we'll dive through that spirit of restorative now. So the targeted area, the hips, that lower sacral spine, the inner legs, the outer legs. And we're in a back bend here. So that lower spine and that lower pelvis is highlighted. Our job here now is to relax everywhere else. So allow the lower jaw to slacken. And as it slackens, feel the relaxation response drift in through the shoulders, the back body, the muscles wrapped around the sit bones soften. The legs may become a little heavier. The bones at this point may feel like they're floating in the connective tissue. Effortless effort here. Let's come into the breath that we started with today, that evenness of our breath. So inhaling for a comfortable count, might be 5 or 6 or even 7 for your breath. And as you exhale for that same count. And if you don't want to count, maybe I'm inhaling fully. I'm exhaling fully can be your mantra. Notice what that's like for you today. Inhaling fully. I'm exhaling fully. Allow the contents of the mind to empty. Come into the mantra or the count. Feel the body soften just a wee bit more as you surrender. just a handful of breaths here. Notice the evenness between the inhale and the exhale. Where can you relax a little more? Do you feel resistance as you relax into your jaw, shoulders, hips, knees, soles of the feet, nice and soft? For one more breath here. Enjoy that exhale, the descent as your body pours a little bit more freely into this shape. When you're ready, take the hands into the side edges of the legs, like you're closing a book. Gently, softly bring the feet into the floor. From here, you can take the blanket out or the feet out one at a time. Walk the feet up just a wee bit, and you can take the blanket right out if that's available for you, just off to the side. Walk the feet a little closer to the sit bones. From here, you'll give a little press into both feet and let the sit bones come upward, lengthen towards the heels and then downward. 2 more times like that. Press evenly through the heels, big toe, baby toe. Feel the lower spine move up and then lower. It never has to touch the floor. And then one more. Maybe it feels like it's swimming. A little bit of movement. And then slowly let it come down. As it comes down into the floor, roll over to that outer edge of your body. Take the bolster out, or whatever you are using up and down the spine, and bring it underneath the legs. You're going to come into your Shavasana now, so take what was elevating the head of your support, your heart bed, out. Bring one foot into the bolster, and you can nestle it a little closer to the sit bones. Lengthen one leg and then hold it with the top of that leg and then the other, so that you can really capture this support underneath the thighs, so you can feel the lower spine, our targeted area, come into the mat super softly. Toes can have a little wriggle. Sometimes it's nice to take the hands right behind the back of the skull. Lift the skull off of the mat and then a little lengthening upward. You can feel a little gentle traction. And then you lower the back of the skull down. Lengthen through the arms out. Knuckles heavy, palms upward, or maybe it feels delicious to have the hands on the belly. A little rock of the back of the skull as you settle into your Shavasana, final resting pose. And then notice how you feel from temples to toes. Notice the awareness that has seeped in. Feel that fullness of you, this acceptance of what we have here. The eyes are closed, the muscles around the eyes soften a little more. As we come to that place between deep sleep and awake, where the body can fully absorb all of this goodness, all of this beautiful movement through our breath. Notice that deep relaxation in the jaw as you let go. The shoulders. All the way down the back body. The lower spine, the legs. Encourage the body to relax just a little bit more. The toes can wriggle. As you drift now into that spaciousness that you've created, and allow yourself to rest in that fierce grace, this beautiful strength, this resilience can run through each and every cell, feeding it exactly, the body exactly what it needs at exactly the right timing. Allow the breath to deepen here. And as the breath deepens, feel that beautiful rise of the awareness as it starts to seep in. Notice through any wriggling of the toes and the fingers, the subtle movement. Feel into that new normal as the body starts to enliven. Maybe a long stretch through one arm or the other, maybe both the legs. You can squeeze the legs into the belly for a beautiful hug, a little rock and roll from side to side. And then when you're ready, you can roll onto one side. And as you rest on that side, notice how you feel. Notice the quality in your body. You can rest the head on the arm. Notice the lower edge of the body, the upper edge, the width of the pelvis, shoulder over shoulder. From here, give yourself a little pat on the back, or that psychic little pat on the back. Feel that. For showing up. Allowing this gift to permeate of time, of presence. When you're ready, give a little press into the mat, into the floor. Use that strength to roll up. Let the head come up last. Feel the weight of the head. And then roll it up as the spine gently comes upward. You can use a blanket and wrap it around you and keep the warmth if you need it. Or you can come with the sit bones elevated on top of your blanket, bolster, or block. The knees don't have to bend. So whatever you want to sit on, go ahead and find that comfortable seat. One knee can bend, or maybe it's both. The wall is a beautiful thing to lean into. Once you find that comfort zone, then let the sit bones sink down. Feel the elongation of the spinal column all the way up, up, up. The balancing of the head. You might feel that beautiful lift of the palate through the crown. That lengthening of the back of the neck. As we hold that 1,000-petaled lotus beautifully sitting on top of our crown. From here, let's come into that breath that we started with. In through the nose evenly and out through the nose evenly. A comfortable count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2 more. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Last one. Notice the quality in your body, the sensation, that fierce grace mingled in our strength, that resilience, that beautiful shine. Go ahead and bring the palms together. That deep gratitude toward yourself. Feel that warmth of acceptance. Thumbs at the heart center. A light little press of support. Take a deep inhale into all that support around you. And a light little bow as we pour this goodness, as loving kindness out beyond these walls to all. Namaste. And thank you for your practice.